My sister leaned across the table, stared at my child, and said, "Your son doesn't deserve to be at my son's birthday." She said it slowly, like she wanted to savor the cruelty. And all I'd done was tell her no. I wasn't buying her the luxury car she'd circled online like it already belonged to her. For a moment, the room froze. Then everyone burst out laughing, even my parents, as if hurting Mason was entertainment. I looked at my son, then at them, and said quietly, "Everyone will get what they deserve." None of them imagined what that would actually mean. I should probably tell you who I am before the rest of this makes any sense. My name is Adelaide. I'm a 34-year-old music producer in Los Angeles, the kind of person who works more with headphones than people. Most days, it's just me, a half-finished melody, and my son, Mason, drawing dinosaurs beside my desk while I chase deadlines. I'm a calm person by nature. I've had to be. When you grow up in a family where storms appear out of nowhere, you learn to keep your own weather steady. I was the fixer, long before I had the word for it, the kid who translated adult problems into solutions. I was 10 when the heater in our apartment burned out and filled the air with the smell of scorched dust. My mother argued with bills on the kitchen floor, while Lily, 4 years younger and already dramatic, cried loud enough for the neighbors to check in. Back then, loudness got attention in our house. Quiet competence got responsibility. So I learned to hold things together. When I started earning money from songwriting, it didn't even occur to anyone to ask Lily for help. It was automatic. The broken AC at my parents' house, the groceries my mom said she'd pay me back for, my dad's insurance premium he forgot about, Lily's gas, Lily's makeup, Lily's pop-up event, Lily's new project, Lily's next idea. I didn't mind at first. Helping felt like love, until it didn't. The more I helped, the more they acted like I owed them something. Like stability in my life was a group resource they were entitled to withdraw from whenever they felt like it. And no one used that more aggressively than Lily. She was always rebranding herself. One month she was a candle business owner, then a lash artist, then a coach. She'd send me pictures of her vision boards and the equipment she needed for her brand, followed by a not-so-subtle reminder that I was her older sister, the responsible one, the one who made real money. And I let it slide, over and over, until the week she announced she needed a luxury car for her new image. She sent me 3 links, all with price tags that made my throat tighten. When I didn't respond, she pushed. Group chat messages piled in, family pressure disguised as encouragement. My mother wrote, "Your sister needs stability." My father added, "Real family shows up." Lily ended with, "You're doing amazing in LA. Don't be weird. Just say yes." I didn't. Not this time. Which is why that dinner happened. Why Lily walked in late in her white outfit like she was stepping onto a stage. Why everyone at the table waited to see if I would play my usual role and make everything easy. I didn't. And instead of asking why, they laughed. That was when something in me quietly shifted, and for the first time in my life, I understood this truth. The moment you stop playing the part they wrote for you, the whole cast turns on you. Dinner that night felt like stepping into a play I didn't audition for. The dining room in my parents' house hadn't changed in years. The wobbling table from my childhood, the hum of the old ceiling fan, the faint smell of overcooked chicken. Mason sat beside me, swinging his legs, tapping a quiet rhythm on his plate. My parents chatted with Lily as if nothing in the world had weight. Then Lily shifted the whole air in the room with one sentence. "So," she said, stirring her tea like she was performing for an invisible camera, "my car died, and I already told my followers I'm getting a new G-Class, the matte one." She glanced at me. "You saw the links." I didn't answer immediately. I cut Mason's chicken, handed him a napkin, took a slow breath. Lily leaned back, annoyed by my silence. "Just confirm you're covering the down payment. It's not a big deal. You make real money." My mother murmured something about supporting family. My dad chimed in with his usual, "You're the stable one, Addie." I put my fork down. No. The word landed like a dropped plate. Everyone blinked, waiting for the punchline. Lily snorted. "Come on." I said no. I repeated. My father actually laughed. "She's joking." My mother smiled tightly. "Of course, she'll help. She always does." But I didn't smile. I didn't soften it. "I'm not buying a car for you." Silence stretched for a moment before Lily's face hardened into something sharp. She turned toward Mason, who was quietly coloring a dinosaur on the back of his paper playmat. "Then your son doesn't deserve to attend my son's birthday." It came out smooth, cold, rehearsed, like she'd been waiting to use it. Mason's marker froze midline, his shoulders pulled in. He looked up at me, uncertain, like he couldn't make sense of an adult hurting him on purpose. I felt something inside me pull taut. Not anger, not yet, just a clean, sterile realization. My family wasn't just okay with Lily using me, they were okay with her using my child. My aunt snorted. Someone whispered "savage," like she had delivered a punchline. My mother actually covered a smile with her hand. My father shook his head, but didn't say a word. No one told her it was wrong. No one even looked uncomfortable. I looked around the table and saw years of small cuts lining up into one long wound. Every gas bill I paid, every late-night transfer, every apology I made for Lily's behavior. Every time I told Mason, "They love you, baby," even when their actions said otherwise. I inhaled once. Steady. "Everyone will get what they deserve," I said quietly. They kept laughing. They didn't hear it for what it was, a boundary foreman in real time. After dinner, while they ate dessert and Lily announced her color theme for the birthday party, I helped Mason with his shoes. He leaned into me, small and warm. "Did I do something wrong?" he whispered. That sentence broke something wider in me than anything Lily had ever said. "No," I told him. "You did everything right." Parents are supposed to be shields. And in that moment, I realized I had been shielding the wrong people for years. At home, after Mason fell asleep with his dinosaur still clutched in his hand, I sat at my desk staring at the glow of my laptop. The house was quiet, but my mind wasn't. This wasn't a flare-up. It wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a pattern. And patterns don't break on their own. Someone has to grab the edges and tear. When we got home that night, the house felt heavier than usual, like the air itself was waiting for me to make a decision I'd avoided my entire adult life. Mason went straight to the couch with his dinosaur, curling into the corner, the way he always did after something confusing or painful. I heated some leftover pasta, sat beside him, and watched his small shoulders rise and fall. He didn't bring up what Lily said. Kids never know how to name the hurt, only how to carry it. After I tucked him into bed, I stood in the doorway for a moment, listening to the soft rhythm of his breathing. That sound had carried me through deadlines, breakups, exhausted mornings, chaotic family calls. It grounded me.
It reminded me who actually needed me and who didn't. I walked to my desk. The glow of my laptop lit up the small room, casting long shadows across Mason's crayons and toy cars scattered on the floor. I opened a blank note and typed one word at the top: boundaries. Not anger, not revenge, just the thing I had never been allowed to have. Then I began listing everything my family quietly relied on me for. My mother's phone line on my plan, my father's insurance that I'd been temporarily covering for months, Lily's storage unit connected to my card, streaming services, music apps, subscriptions, payments I'd taken over out of guilt, exhaustion, or habit. Seeing it in writing made something in my chest shift. It wasn't cruelty to stop, it was clarity. I drafted 3 emails. No emotion, no essays about the past, no explanations they'd twist later, just facts. To my mother, effective tomorrow, her phone line would be transferred. I included the steps. To my father, his insurance payment would switch to his own card on the first of the month. To Lily, an itemized list of the money she owed me, the dates, and a reasonable payment plan. I ended with one sentence: I am not a lender. I reread each message, deleting anything that sounded angry. Anger was fuel, but clarity was strategy. Before sending them, I whispered the same sentence I'd said at dinner, but this time it wasn't a warning. It was a promise to myself. Everyone will get what they deserve. I hit send. The house stayed quiet. No alarms went off. No explosions, no drama. Just silence. A fresh kind of silence. The kind that comes right before your life splits into before and after. Tomorrow was Jaden's birthday party. They expected me to show up, smile, and fold like I always had. But tomorrow, I wasn't going as the family fixer. I was going as Mason's mother. The next morning, the sky over Los Angeles looked washed out, the kind of pale blue that feels too bright for how heavy your chest is. Mason woke up early, excited in that innocent way only kids can be. He held the birthday card he'd drawn for Jaden, a blue scribbled car with crooked wheels and a tiny stick figure waving from the window. "Will he like it?" he asked. "He'll love it," I said, ruffling his hair. I didn't tell him the truth. Buzzin' under my ribs, today wouldn't go how anyone expected. We drove to my parents' neighborhood, passing rows of identical houses with trimmed lawns and plastic seasonal decorations. Mason kicked his heels softly against the back of my seat, humming a tune he'd heard me mixing the night before. When we parked down the street, he climbed out, still holding the card carefully with both hands. The party was already in full swing. I could hear music from the sidewalk, kids laughing, a dog barking, someone shouting for more cotton candy. A bright arch of blue and silver balloons framed the driveway. A folding table held cupcakes, each topped with printable cartoon faces. The rented bounce slide towered over everything, shimmering under the sun. It was the kind of birthday party that looked perfect on social media. As soon as we stepped toward the yard, Lily spotted us. She stood near the arch wearing a white jumpsuit and oversized sunglasses, even though the party was mostly in the shade. Jordan lingered beside her, holding a cluster of balloons, looking as checked out as he always did. Lily crossed her arms. "Oh, you came." I ignored the tone. "We won't stay long." She looked down at the birthday card in Mason's hands, then back at me, her lips curving into a smug smile. "Did you bring the keys to my car?" Even now, she was committed to the bit. I didn't look away. "No." Her smile dropped. "You're really doing this here." Before I could answer, my mother appeared behind her like she'd been summoned. "Adelaide," she whispered sharply, "don't cause a scene. The children are present." My jaw tightened. "I'm not causing a scene, but yesterday she said my son doesn't deserve to be here." A few nearby parents turned their heads. I hadn't planned on an audience, but maybe it was necessary. My dad stepped forward from the grill, flipping a spatula in his hand like he was gearing up for a lecture. "Let's be reasonable. Your sister was upset." "Upset doesn't give her the right to attack a child," I said. Lily scoffed. "Oh, please, it was a joke. Don't be dramatic." Mason's fingers tightened around my hand. I felt him lean into me. The moment sharpened. This wasn't the time to shrink. I knelt down to Mason's level. "Buddy, can you go sit with Grandpa for a minute?" He hesitated, but nodded, and took a few small steps toward my dad, clutching the card like it was fragile glass. I stood, and everything in me settled. My voice didn't rise. It didn't need to. "I am done," I said. Lily laughed once, confused. "Done with what? Being ridiculous?" "All of it," I said. "With paying for everything. With being treated like I don't matter. With you talking about my son like he's leverage." Her sunglasses slid down her nose. "You're punishing us because you don't want to help your family. I'm setting boundaries because you don't know how to respect family." My mother tried again. "Adelaide, no," I said. turning to her. Mom, this is important. You all stood there last night and laughed while she humiliated Mason. That's not family, that's cruelty. The yard grew quieter. A couple of adults drifted closer, the kind of quiet that comes right before a storm or a reckoning. I turned back to Lily. I've covered your bills, your debts, your emergencies, your hobbies, your rebrands, your impulsive purchases, your short-lived businesses. I've covered things you don't even remember because you never asked how they got paid. Her mouth opened, then closed. As of today, all of it ends. My dad frowned. What do you mean, ends? Your phone line's been transferred, your insurance moved back to your card on the 1st of the month. Your storage unit no longer my responsibility. Subscriptions canceled. Jordan muttered under his breath. Damn, I continued. And Lily, I've sent you an itemized list of everything you owe me, the dates and a reasonable payment plan. I'm not a lender. I'm not a safety net. I am not your personal investor. She took a step forward. You can't talk to me like that. I can, I said, and I am. My mother whispered, Adelie, people are staring. Good, I said. Maybe someone should witness this, because I'm done being the quiet one. Lily pointed at me, voice rising. You're ruining Jaden's birthday party. No, I said. You tried to ruin Mason's childhood. That landed hard. Even Lily blinked. Before anything else could break, Mason tugged at my sleeve. Can I give him his card now? Of course, I said. He walked over to Jaden, holding the drawing with both hands. Jaden looked at it, then at me, then at Lily, and threw his arms around Mason. Kids always know the truth faster than adults. They don't care about power. They care about people. That one hug said more than every speech in the yard. I put a hand on Mason's shoulder. We're heading out. Lily's voice cracked. So you're just walking away? I nodded. Yes. And if you want to be part of our lives again, you apologize to Mason, you treat him with respect, and you talk to me like a sister, not a wallet. My dad stepped toward me like he wanted to intimidate me the way he used to when I was younger, but I wasn't that girl anymore. I stood steady, taller somehow. Don't make this bigger than it is, he warned. It already is, I said. You just didn't see it because I was carrying all of it for you. For the first time, my mother looked genuinely shaken. She glanced at Lily, at Mason, at the people around us.
There was something like realization flickering behind her eyes. We walked toward the car. The air had that strange silence where even the birds seemed to pause. As I opened the door for Mason, I heard my aunt whisper behind me, "She means it." Yes, I did. And for the first time, I wasn't afraid of what would happen when I stopped being the family solution. Because the truth was simple. They had no idea what awaited them. Not yesterday, not today, and not in the life I was finally choosing to build. By Monday morning, the consequences began landing exactly where they belonged. My phone buzzed with confirmations, the carrier processed the line transfers, the insurance office updated the payment method, and 2 streaming services sent polite emails thanking me for my time. It felt like clearing a cluttered room I'd been trapped in for years. My mother called first, not frantic the way I expected, just quiet. "My phone isn't working," she said. "I sent you the steps," I answered gently. "You can handle it." There was a long pause. "Okay." My father didn't call, but he sent a short message. "Got the insurance notice." Nothing more. The absence of anger was its own shift. Lily, however, erupted. Text after text, each more frantic than the last. The storage facility had contacted her. The auto charge failed. Her posts online grew vague and melodramatic. Dark backgrounds, dramatic captions, polls about fake family. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. The boundaries were doing the work for me. 2 evenings later, my mother showed up on my porch. This time, she didn't push inside. She just stood there, wringing her hands. "You're right," she whispered. "About what happened to Mason?" "About all of it." It wasn't an apology, but it was the beginning of one. The next morning, my phone buzzed again.
A message from Lily. I was wrong to say that about Mason. Just one sentence. It was enough to show something had cracked. A week later, I took Mason to the park near our place. The late afternoon sun turned the grass gold, and he raced on the slide with a laugh so full and unburdened, it felt like a kind of victory. For the first time in years, there was no buzzing phone, no incoming crisis, no quiet dread in my chest. Just us. Just peace. I watched him run toward me, cheeks flushed, and I realized something simple. Protecting him didn't require sacrificing myself. It required boundaries. Clear, calm, non-negotiable boundaries that no one could twist again. If this story resonates with you, share your experience below and subscribe for more stories like it.